Hey guys, it's Melissa with Beauty by Nature, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make homemade chicken and rice soup. So just a few of the benefits of chicken and rice soup is that if you make it with garlic, fresh garlic and onion like I'm going to show you today, garlic it's an antibiotic, it's antibacterial, antifungal, and it's anti-inflammatory. So it's really, really nourishing and good for you. It will cleanse your body. And onion is also another really good thing to have in there. As well as rice, it's kind of an easy way to eat rice. Sometimes people find it difficult to eat rice, especially brown rice, which is what I use. But it's really delicious. It tastes really good, and your whole family can enjoy it. Plus, it's really, really healthy. So let's get going. So I like to start off with a really big pot. This makes a lot of soup, probably upwards of a gallon of soup. So I've taken my biggest pot and I've put 3 quarts of water in here. And that's just to get the chicken in there. So go ahead and add a tablespoon of salt to that, because you need to add a teaspoon of salt per quart of water for anything that you're boiling, like rice or chicken, to give it that extra little bit of flavor. And then go ahead and add 2 to 3 chicken leg quarters sections. I had separated mine out of a big bag and then pre-frozen them, so I'm going to go ahead and just start this boiling, and as soon as it boils I'm going to time it for about 2 hours. Okay, once you've let your chicken boil for 2 to 3 hours, or until the meat will just fall right off of the bone like this, and you know it's done, go ahead and take it out of your pan of boiling water and put it on a plate so that it can start to cool. And then, as you can see, most of the water is gone from this pot, so I'm going to go ahead and add probably 1 to 2 more quarts, or until it's about 3/4 of the way full. Okay, at this point I'm going to add the rice so that can get cooking while I cut the vegetables up. If you're going to use white rice, as soon as your water comes to a boil again, add a cup to a cup and a half of white rice, depending on how much you want, and let that boil till it's done, which usually takes about 20 minutes. If you're going to use brown rice, you can use about the same amount, but that will take up to 50 minutes to cook. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that now and then start cutting the vegetables. Okay, the next thing that you want to add right as the rice is starting to cook is garlic and onion. I've taken 3 cloves of garlic and cut them into smaller pieces, and then about 1/3 of a pretty good sized onion. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use this little blender, this little chopper, to get them really, really fine, because I don't want the onion chunks in there. But you can just chop it up into whatever size you want it to be, and then go ahead and add that to your soup. Okay, so with chicken and rice soup, what I like to add to it for the vegetables are red potatoes, which I usually just leave the skins on because the skin is where most of the nutrition is. And then carrots, and if you like celery, that can add a really nice flavor and a good texture to the soup as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and chop those up now. Okay, I just put all of the vegetables on this tray so that I can add them when the rice is just about done. And the next thing that you'll probably want to do is start picking all of the meat off the bones so that that's ready to go in the soup at the right time. Okay, so I've been boiling my rice for about 50 minutes now, and after that is done, you can go ahead and add all of the vegetables. So we're just going to add the vegetables now. I did have to add just a little bit more water, so basically you can just kind of watch how much water you end up having after boiling the chicken and then adding the rice to it, because that can kind of drain your water. Another thing that drains your water is the potatoes, so just watch how many you put in. A good rule of thumb is to put about as many really small potatoes as you have people for the soup, so that's kind of a way to gauge, but just go ahead and do what you think is going to work the best for your family. after you add the vegetables, you can go ahead and add your broth, better than bouillon, so that it will taste a little bit stronger of the chicken. Usually just boiling chicken doesn't give it quite as much flavor. And it'll just give you the directions as how much to put in. Usually I just go by the directions per how much water I have in here. So there's a little more than 3 quarts. So I'm going to go ahead and put the ratio that it tells me to put in there. It says 1.5 tablespoons per quart, so I'm going to put 4.5 tablespoons in here. So I went ahead and added the chicken now because I want my chicken to be just a little bit more tender. But it doesn't really matter, you can add it right towards the very end since it's already cooked. And then I'm just going to go ahead and let this boil for about 15 or 20 minutes till the vegetables are all the way cooked. So depending on how big you cut your vegetables, especially your potatoes, it could take more like 30 minutes for them to get really soft and tender. That's about how long mine have been in, and they're good and cooked, and all you can put a fork through them really nicely. So this is all the way done, and it made over 1 gallon of soup, so it can feed a lot of people. So go ahead and enjoy. So I hope you guys liked this tutorial on how to make homemade chicken and rice soup. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks, guys!